Okay, so welcome in, and let's start
Yes,
with this
sir.
here. Um, what have you learned so far about persuasion and negotiation?
Okay, so far I choose to watch the master class about mirroring
Okay,
and kind of like repeat the labeling video.
okay. So what is
Oh,
mirroring?
okay, so it's kind of like you repeat the last three words of the other person, let's say, and then you can use it on the like you can be the interesting people when you use mirroring. I think that's one of the recipe.
So you can be more interesting to people if you repeat the last three words, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like you can be interesting people, when you are talking with a person because it seems like the person is attached to you and you are like listen to them.
So it seems like the person is attached to you, and you're listening to them.
Yeah, like what you did to me right now.
Like what I'm doing to you right now.
Yeah, yeah, because you show me the applied things, the implied of the mirroring things.
You mean I'm applying mirroring to you right now?
Yes, exactly. That the things that Chris first told me on his video.
So Chris Voss told you in this review. Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right. So yes, mirroring is a pretty effective tactic, and it does create a feeling of collaboration. Um, Instead of like the opposite of mirroring would be to oppose somebody, like to contradict them, to debate them. And most cases, I think what people think of when they think of negotiation, they think of debate. They think of that this is some sort of um, argument, and my job is to argue you down and show you that you're wrong, right? But what's actually really interesting about persuasion negotiation is that it should never be in the context of an argument. A debate is generally not for the other person. If you think about a debate, it's for the audience. So people are having a debate, and the audience is then able to decide who's in the right, who's not, right? So you're not really persuading your opponent in the debate. You're persuading the audience that you're more clever, or you're more, skilled, or logical, or rational. But when you negotiate, there's really no audience besides the other person, and so to be able to mirror and to be able to label is is good stuff. Okay, so what's labeling then, Shintya? What does it mean to label?
Okay. Well, actually, for the labeling, pretty much like kind of forget it. I just like rewatch again for a while, but yes, sir. I'm sorry. I'm kind of like lost on labeling.
So it seems like maybe you're a little bit lost, yeah, and maybe you
Hmm.
need some help to understand what to do next.
Yes. Yes.
So,
I think.
oh, continue, please.
Sorry.
Continue. You think?
Oh no. Yeah. I'm done. I'm good.
Oh, you're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So if I might ask you, did you just like do the labeling? I mean, not practice the labeling to me.
So you think I'm practicing some labeling on you by asking if you understand how to label?
Well, it's I'm still like figure it out. Is it but like mirroring or labeling?
It's a little bit of both. So labeling is essentially taking a third party look at the situation rather than a direct approach, right? So let's say, for example, we're doing a negotiation and it doesn't seem like we can agree to any terms. So labeling would be like, it seems like we're unable to reach any terms at the moment. Right?
Hmm.
Um, It seems like there's something you're not telling me that you're worried about. Um, it seems like there's, it just gives a name to the situation so that somebody can
Oh.
identify it. Right. So you're essentially calling
Mm,
out the situation. You're practicing identifying the situation, and ideally it should not be.
mhm.
Actually, I need to probably rewatch this again, but it helps the thing along. Okay, great. Let's try this. Let's try creating a scenario, right? And let's use. Did you watch the how to ask for increase in your salary?
Mm. Yeah, no, I haven't watched it.
Watch that. You should watch that. That is
Yeah, I have.
valuable.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that could make you a lot of money over the course of your life, right? So you should watch that immediately. Okay, let's
Okay,
pretend
then
that
I will apply it directly to user.
yes, let's pretend you're going to come to me and you're going to ask me for a pay raise. Okay, so we're going to do a simulation, and what I want you to do is you can practice mirroring, you can practice labeling, you can practice whatever you want really to make this negotiation work better for you. So let's give it a shot and see where we are. Okay, Shintya. Before we go on, actually, I need to check you off. And okay, so currently, have you watched the masterclass yet?
Yes, but I haven't watched the negotiating salary.
All right, so you started watching it. That's good. What about the LinkedIn Learning? Did you get a chance
Uh,
to watch that?
sorry, sir, I haven't watched it.
You're sorry if you haven't watched it.
No, I haven't watched it. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Let's begin here. You're going to try to persuade me to increase your salary. So why don't you go off and get started here?
Okay. Can I take like a moment and to like think,
No,
or I just
you don't
like
need to
start?
think. You just need to start, right? Because the hardest part of negotiation is the first step. And if you think about it, it always is. Negotiation is not something I think that can be planned. It's something more
Mhm.
dynamic. It's kind of like it's very fluid, right? So
Yeah.
if you plan something, it can only go one way. This step leads to this step, leads to this step. Negotiation, as soon as you've gone two steps, it can go in a completely different situation. And unless you
Mm,
develop agility, meaning that you learn how to think
okay.
correspond to each situation, planning it doesn't help that much. You need to have a framework, I think, before you negotiate. You need to know where you want to end up and what you're willing to do to get there. But on the course of the negotiation, you should try to get agility rather than trying to go to a
Okay.
straight line. All right, so why don't you open the discussion? You're coming into my office and you're saying, hey, you're coming with this idea that you want to get paid more. So let's hear you start.
Okay. Okay. Wait. Oh, okay, sir. I will start. Okay. Um. So, hi, sir. How are you today?
I'm good, Shintya. I'm good. What brings you to my office today?
Yes, there's something that I'd like to discuss with you this lovely afternoon. Oh, actually, happy Valentine's Day. This is very good day to celebrate your love with the loved ones, right?
Yes, it is. It is a very good
Uh,
day, and it's a lovely day.
yeah, and then here I'd like to discuss about my job with you. So I've worked here for several months right now, and then I think like there's a lot of things that I've learned from here. So like I learned some new things, and then I practice, and then I apply it to my job, and then I did it right now.
Mhm.
So if you know that, do you know that last month the Penida growth is increased, and it is because I did some job there. I did an experiment and it works. And if you wanna know the data here, I will give you some data. So you could check it here, and there's I documented it what I've done to social media as well. And then for those kind of things in this very special day, I think it's never really hurt if like you show or if you share some what can I say that some of your kindness, some of your love to me, right? So as my burden is get higher and my burden is get harder right now, so here, I'd like to propose you. I'd like to propose about the increasing on my salary. I think that's a good deal for since I've contribute in this company growth. So I think it will never hurt if this company also contribute to my prosperity as well. Yeah.
All right. Um, so you feel like you contributed. Is that the case?
Sorry, sir.
So you feel like you've made some contributions.
Yes, I did because this is the data that I could give to you. I bring some data to you, and from this data, we can see that there is a growth in social media, and then this is what I've done. You can check it either here, and then because of the data, I think I've contributed the company growth with okay 50%.
Okay, right. So you feel like you contributed 50%. How would you be able to actually, let's say, attribute that growth to your own efforts?
Okay, so actually, it's not only my own efforts, but here I'm asking my teammates to help me in my project in this thing. So I think it's also because the teamwork and um, well, uh, directly or indirectly, here um, can I say here I make them to do this job to our company as well.
Okay, all right. So you're saying your team did the work and they essentially helped get the growth to happen and improves your data. So why should I pay you? I mean, I should pay the team then, right?
But I think my since it's come from my idea and then the teammate. So sir, there's some type of person as the employee, right? There's a conceptor and there's also the executor. So here I place myself as the conceptor and then I place my teammate as the executor. So I think since I floor my project in them, and then they created them, and it means that I'm a, I'm leading them to do that wonderful job, right?
I see. Well, Shintya, concepts are great, but anyone can come up with a concept. I mean, we can just talk about, let's say, I can come up with a concept today of something. Doesn't necessarily mean that the person with the concept actually was able to implement it. So, how are you able to demonstrate to me that your concept was actually something that the team adopted because you led them, or is it just something that you're taking credit for right now after the fact?
Okay. Um,
Okay, I'm going to stop this right now.
yes.
I'm going to stop this right now because how do you feel right now?
I'm not sure. It's kind of like I feel so. What is it? Oh, what is it? Sombong in English? Arrogant?
Arrogant.
No, not arrogant. Yeah, arrogant. It's kind of like arrogant. And then I feel. I'm not sure. I'm not the type of person that used to like give credit to myself sometimes. So I think it's kind of like a bit awkward if I do that thing.
Okay, that part I can understand. And for that feeling that you feel, don't be worried about it when you're negotiating, especially let's say for a salary increase. you should be you should speak well of your own achievements, right? There's no point in being mild about that. But you missed a very very important thing, and it's the reason why. Do you feel like you have control over this negotiation right now?
Mm.
That's the question.
No.
No, right. Why do you not have control on this negotiation?
Um, because I think I didn't give any proof, and then it's easier uh to say
Oops, we lost you, Cynthia. Okay, I'll try to reload it.
hi,
Hello, Cynthia, can you hear me?
hi sir. Yeah. Hi, sir.
I
Welcome
think
back. Yeah.
there was a delay. There was a lag in the thing. Okay, Shintya, you feel like you don't have any proof, right? That's what you were saying. Um, and that's where I lost you. Did you say something after that?
Yeah, I said that there I don't tell you clearly. Uh, am I right? I mean, like I keep like going around like
Okay,
round.
right. You're spinning around, right? You're hoping that
Mhm.
you find an anchor point, and
Yeah.
what you're doing is sort of you're on a random walk. Um, you're sort of like hoping that at some point this negotiation will converge into a focus point. Like, how would I say? You're sort of fishing for luck. You're gambling right now in this negotiation. You're hoping that
Mm.
you're going to say something that interests me and that will make me feel like I should actually pay you more. Um, and to be really honest, I really don't even know what you've said so far. To be
Mhm.
really frank, you talked about some data. I think you talked about some performance and some data. But for me, it is not clear what you are intending for, right? It's
Okay.
not clear what. I'm not even clear exactly, if you're asking for a raise or. So you need to be very explicit, first of all. But let me give you the first.
Mm.
Let me bring you back to the very, very, very beginning. Okay, and this is the first way that you can get some control in a negotiation. The first thing you should not say about like, okay, here I'm not here to ask for a raise. I mean, Chris Voss talked about that because
Mhm.
all bosses and everybody, even you, if you become a boss one day, once you become a boss one day, or if somebody comes to you asking for money, you're never going to really appreciate that approach, right? That
Mhm.
approach is generally, um, it's not a strong approach. What you should come to ask for is, hey, boss, I can see that there's a few problems that we're currently facing. Would you agree that these are problems, right?
Mm.
And I would go, no, I don't think those are problems at all. Then you need to pivot. You need to find out what the person's problems are, right?
Yep.
That you need to have trust. Let's say if we're having an employee,
Oh.
we generally have trust already. I'm not going to think that you're coming in to try to sabotage me, right? But you need to
Mhm.
find out what the problem is.
Mhm.
So let's say, for example, you came to me and said, "Hey, G, do you think that Yusuf Benitez is running in the best way possible?" And I would be honest. I would say, "No, I don't think it's running in the best way possible." And then you could say, "Well, G, what do you think we could do better?" I think we could do better for guest houses. I think we have better control over the booking page. I think we need to figure out how to improve, let's say, the community. We can go on the list. That is your control now, right? When somebody is telling you all the problems that they see, that is how you can control now the conversation. So you go, okay, all right. So you're telling me, Jing, and you can start mirroring, right? You're telling me, Jing, that you're having problems with, let's say, getting guest house occupancy. You're telling me that you're having problems with, let's say, getting the community under control over cleanliness. Is there anything else that you feel like could be done better? I say, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we need a more strong leader, right? It seems like the squad is a little bit disorganized right now, and we could use this. And you go, you know what? I would tend to agree with that. And do you think that there's anything I can do to help? And I go, I don't know. I mean, what do you think you can do to help? You mean you never thought of me before? No, but now that you've mentioned it, maybe I'm thinking about you now. Okay, great. So then this is where now you can negotiate because now I've shared my problem with you. And if you're even better than that, you can say, now, how do all these problems make you feel? Are you concerned or does it not worry you too much? You say, I'm concerned. And then if you're even better, you can even say, are you as concerned about this as, let's say, performance on squad one? And then I might say, well, maybe not, or maybe. Okay, so what you're trying to feel is this: you're trying to get trust, you're trying to get problems, and you're trying to get feelings. You have trust, problems, and feelings. Now you can control the conversation. Now you can start coming up with solutions. You can say, hey, Jane, if I can make you feel better so that you would have, let's say, even higher aspirations about squad four than squad one, how would that make you feel? I would say that would make me feel incredible. I would be delighted. Hey, how would it make you feel if the revenue on squad four could be higher than the revenue on squad one? Oh, that'd be amazing. That would be just like incredible. How would it make you feel if there were no more cleanliness issues in Nusa Penida? Oh, I'd be absolutely delighted. That would be thrilling. Okay, all right. So, now you know what you can do to get a raise, right? Now you've figured out exactly what are the problems and what you can negotiate for to create a solution. Then all you have to do is negotiate a price for that. You can say, hey, look, what do you think that's actually worth getting this fixed? I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet. Well, like if I was doing better, let's say I was able to lead the revenue and it was doing better than squad one, would I be paid the same as the squad one lead? No, yeah, that wouldn't seem like a bad idea. That would seem pretty fair. Yeah, okay, great. Why don't we do this? Why don't I take the next 3 months to work on a plan to fix these problems, to get the revenue to go up, and then you think about actually promoting me to squad one lead, to earn as much as squad one. And I go, that's really interesting. Let me think about that. No, I don't think you should think about it because you wouldn't want this. Now you've given me something to lose, right? You've planted an idea that Squad 4 could do as well as Squad 1, and you deserve part of that as your benefit, and I wouldn't want to lose that, right? If you say, hey, look, if I could turn Squad 4 to make as much as Squad 2, wouldn't that be great? I say, yes, absolutely, that would be amazing. How do you know that's a good offer? Because you already have asked me the questions. You've already discovered what I want. And so when you propose these things, they'll have a direct connection to what I'm thinking is a good idea, and you'll get somewhere, right? So don't try to persuade yourself that you've accomplished something. Persuasion is all about getting the other person to believe that your way of doing things is correct. Okay? So you did not go through a moment to discover, right? You sort of gave me a little bit of a nice talk in the beginning about Valentine's Day. That's cute. But if you really want to be persuasive, you should almost spend more than half your time discovering the person that you're trying to persuade, building trust and discovery. And it can be about everything. It can be about, hey, Jing, how do you feel about spending more time with your family? Wouldn't that be great? Would that actually add value to your life? I'd say yes, absolutely. Hey, what is it that you love to do with Becca? Oh, I love to travel with her. I love her bring her to festivals. Hey, what if I could do this? What if I could take away let's say a week? But what if I could actually give you the opportunity to take Becca on a holiday every year, guaranteed for the next 3 years, so that you can enjoy that holiday? Wouldn't that be worth a raise for me? I say absolutely. That would probably be worth very much a raise. What do you have in mind? Well, what is it that you do that stresses you out about something that I can help with? Oh, I don't know. Leadership in squad four, right? Wow. Okay, so now you have something to negotiate with. Now you know what I'm willing to trade for what you could be willing to provide, right? So that is the core of, I think, persuasion, that discovery process and understanding what it is that the other person considers a real benefit. Um, you might think that these things are benefits to you or to me, unless you figure it out. Is it the problem that I'm facing? Do I feel like it's a problem and do I understand the intensity of the problem, then you don't have too many ways to negotiate. You don't have any handles. You're just hoping to grab onto something and take it. Now, if I've told you what my problems are, and then later I tell you that, oh, I don't care. I wouldn't give you a promotion if you solve these problems. Then you can immediately logically come back. You mean if I could produce as much as squad two, you wouldn't give me a promotion? Do you want to lose all this revenue? I mean, it wouldn't make any sense because I've already said yes, I would want it, right? So then you can use that point as a bargaining piece in the negotiation. But if you don't know what that is, uh, you really don't have anything to bargain with. You're just kind of trying. Oh, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? Right? Okay, so let's try it again. But this time, I'm going to be asking you for a raise, and let's see what we'll say. So let's pretend you're CEO of Bukit Vista, and I am online guest support on Squad 4, right? And let's see how this goes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the first thing,
Oh my god. Okay.
actually, how are you doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. So I want to say thank you for taking the time to speak
Mm-hmm.
with me today. I know you're really busy, and I want to take this time to add value to the company's mission. Would that be okay?
Yeah, sure, please. It's fine.
Okay.
So what's new here?
Well, what I have on my mind right now is thinking about like actually understanding a little bit more about what you think is important for our team. So Squad 4, how do you think we're doing so far today?
Well, I think we're doing great. So yeah.
Okay,
What do you have in mind? Yeah.
so you think we're doing great?
Yeah, I think so because we are increasing from the last month.
Okay, we're increasing from the last month, yeah?
Yep, we are increasing from the last month.
And are we increasing as much as you had hoped, or are we a little bit slower than that?
Well, I think it would be better if we could increasing more than that has increased before.
Interesting. Okay. And what specifically would you, as leader of Bukit Vista, what would you like to see increase in Squad 4?
Uh, squad four, do you mean? Okay. Well, actually, it will be great if squad four will be like better, like have a better revenue than a squad two. So yeah, I'm just like thinking about that, and I just can't find any solution of that.
So you think that Squad 4 would be better if it had more revenue than Squad 2?
Yeah, sure, of course, that would be great then.
And if that were to happen, how would you feel about that?
Hmm. Well, if that things will be happen, maybe I would give some appreciation to the one that could help me to do that.
You would give appreciation to somebody that can help you with that.
Yeah, of course I will because you know, right? I don't want to be like, yeah, I don't want to be like, I will what? I don't know how to say it. Okay, well, I will like, sure, I will share it because it's a hard, it's a teamwork, so I will share it with them.
That sounds like you're a very generous kind of boss. I like that.
Yeah, of course, I'm your generous boss, right?
Okay. All right. So, what specifically have you thought about are like the reasons why Squad 4 isn't making as much, let's say, growth or revenue as Squad 2?
Oh, well, actually, we have a very potential market in Squad 4. So, and then why don't we like be close with the Squad 2 as well? And then it's a kind of like a new trend that visit through social media. I think it will be a great chance.
Okay. So there's a new trend and there's a lot of potential. But, boss, why isn't this potential being realized right now? Why are we not able to reach the highest? Uh, why can't we benefit the most from this opportunity?
Well, yeah, actually, we have tried it, but at some point, I saw from the last data, we still not working on the some properties. But I think it will be very good. It will give us a very good revenue if it's work.
Okay, all right. And have you thought about who should be the person to help you fix and maximize the potential of this?
Well, I think it could come to every person, but the very important or the very main person that could it is I think it's you because you're like contact with the guest directly and then you make the transaction or the reservation, right?
Wow. Okay, so you think I would be the right person to actually do this job then?
Yeah, you could help. You can work with the revenue team. So you are the person that very known about what is the issue on the field, right? So I think it will be great if you do some discussion with them, and then both of you guys like sharing, and then I think it would be great if you like have a solution to this issue.
Now, in your eyes, Shintya, would I be more valuable to you if I could actually deliver these solutions and increase the growth of Squad 4 to be more similar to Squad 2?
Oh yeah, sure, it
Okay.
will.
All right, fantastic. How much more valuable would I be?
Sorry.
How much more valuable would I be?
Well, actually, my team is a priceless, so I could count it as a um, in a number. But so I think I can give you a good offer if like you can solve this problem.
Okay, well, today's a good day to talk about it. It's Valentine's Day, so why don't we propose something? I'm thinking this, right? So you felt like for a while there's a lot of potential in SWAT 4. You feel like it's a growing market, it's trending up, and you thought about me as being the best person to do that. I want to fulfill and make you confident that I'm the best person and I can do this job. But I know that you also want to see this result too. So can we agree? Let's say you pay me, maybe like increase my salary 50% if I was able to improve the revenue for Squad 4 by 50%.
50%. Okay, so could you please tell me what will you do if I increase your salary for 50%?
Okay, well, I would make you feel better that Squad 4 isn't, let's say, is reaching its full potential. I would look and formulate a plan first to start where the most potential is not being achieved. I would look for the areas where we can do the most impact. Currently, I believe that's in low occupancy in certain guest houses. And I think that because we've tried so many things, the key point we need to get to is to get the owner compliant, is to get actually the community behind this. So I would lobby the owners until they kind of saw that they were not making as money as they could, and I would try to fulfill that revenue gap. Further than that, I think we can acquire new properties. I think we can maybe brand ourselves better so that more owners would naturally find themselves to us. But most of all, I would also, let's say, understand what the full potential expectations that we can have for a new community are and how close we are within the reality limits to achieving those expectations. So currently, it sounds like to me that both you and I don't really know what the full potential is. Um, but what if we could find that out by projecting correctly? What if then we could see how much of that potential we're not achieving through things that we can actually control? Well, then I would start working on those parts. Does that sound like a pretty good plan?
So you think that's a very good plan?
Do I think that's a good plan? I'm asking you, boss. I mean, this is evaluating. So I think it is. That's what I've told you.
Okay, so like how long do you need time to apply this on Squad for?
Well, judging from today, I would probably need some more time to understand how long to roll this out. But all I want to really talk about is, let's say, if I'm able to actually roll this out, I mean, would I be able to actually expect that this can actually, I can expect a mutually beneficial increase in my own pay for this plan that I'm about to roll out?
Hmm. Okay then, but that's very interesting. So, but well, I'm gonna ask you about the worst thing worst.
Mhm.
How if you can't achieve what you have pictured?
Well, clearly, if I don't achieve, you wouldn't pay me a bonus, right? I mean, the bonus is contingent on both of us actually making more revenue. But what I'm saying is also this: because you told me you're generous, because you told me you want to share and develop teamwork. I think this is teamwork, right? Everybody should get a benefit from actually being able to deliver benefits to the team. And I want to deliver benefits to the team, but I also just want to know that like this generosity will be reciprocated, and that's all we need to get today. Well, if I can actually do this, will I actually be able to expect a corresponding pay raise?
Hmm. Okay, I think. Oh, okay. Well, well, I think that's a good overall. Then, hmm. So yeah, I think you could start your project, and who are gonna work with? Who you will gonna work
So we have
in
an
this
agreement
project?
then. We agreed that we will. I can see a 50% increase in my pay if I deliver a 50% benefit to the squad's performance. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay. I think
Great.
I
We'll
will
get
do it.
started, and I'll let you know what I'm going to do.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, I learned a lot from the way. Yeah, yeah, I learned a lot from the way you negotiate. That like you also mirroring. You apply the mirroring to me, and then also the leveling things because like you level this situation kind of like are you what I'm gonna feel about and then so yeah, the way you like lead this conversation, uh, yeah, okay, yeah.
But you see,
Wow, I'm not sure.
you like that,
Sorry.
right? Was that fun?
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's fine.
All right. So, but now you have the format. Remember, the discovery phase is so important because at some point I felt like you were going to like not say yes to me, and you were going to keep that money for yourself. But you've already told me that you wanted to be generous, right? So I remembered that, and I can appeal to what you just told me during the discovery to actually hold you accountable for being generous, right?
Mm.
It's
Oh.
that's what the entire discovery process is. So that when the conversation seems to go out of control, you can go back to whatever we were talking about before, and use that like to help you out. Let's say, for example, this person says, "Oh, I don't know if it's worth it or not." Go back to the feeling. Hey, you told me that you'd feel great and delighted if I could solve this problem for you. Now, I don't need to solve this for you right now, and you could go back to the way you feel today. Would you want that, or would you want to feel delighted? And then you kind of have me, right? Like, yeah, I told you I would feel delighted if you could do this. So you can also take this away. You can say, I don't have to actually do anything. We can just keep on doing what we do today, and there doesn't need to be a 50% improvement in the squad's revenue. Do you want that? And I would go, no, I don't want that, right? I want to grow. So then, like, what do you want me to do? I mean, if I could just keep on doing what I do today, but if we do say that we're going to do this, then can we expect that? Can I expect that? And most reasonable bosses are. I've been waiting my whole life for people to approach me with an offer like that. I would go like, you know what? If you can make me an offer like that, you're ready to leave. Right? So because and then you have to deliver. You can't just like promise all this nonsense and then you don't do anything. So the negotiation has to be real and it has to be based on a foundation of trust, right? And so when you ask me if I don't deliver, well then of course we've agreed that it would only happen after the revenue increased by 50%, right? So it's contingent on that. So we can't break the trust in the agreement. It can't be, oh, I just get a pay raise because you promised me this day, but I didn't deliver anything. So now you're not actually asking for you're not actually asking for. You're determining what the benefit is, right? And you've secured the benefit. You're sure that that would be a benefit because we've talked about it, and you're certain now that this is a benefit, right? And then now it's just about how much that benefit will cost, and every benefit should cost. Every dentist should have a tray. So I think in this particular way, it's actually quite good. How? Okay, so give me more feedback. What do you think I can do better in this particular condition?
Mm, well, okay, but first of all, can I say something first? I mean, like
Sure.
before I give you the feedback. So I think most of the time I always think that negotiation, yeah, maybe it's the same with trading, but I think that I should bring you something first, so you can trade me with another things that I want.
Oh,
So
you could probably. It's a little bit harder to do that. Let's say Shintya for let's say a salary negotiation.
mm,
What has already happened, and it was
mm,
done on the terms of what happened before, right? So
mm,
you could, I would say, if you're negotiating for salary or let's say for anything, it should be more like an if-then clause, right? It should be if I do this, then this will happen. Um, we do currently based on then if, right? We look at like what the results have been and then determine it what happens. But we've also like as let's say managers, we've also been very clear what we expect to have happen. So we've removed, let's say, the necessity for somebody to negotiate upfront. So at Bukit Vista, we've already created a career matrix. We've already created that. And the reason I created that was because most people do not ask, right? Um,
yep.
so then we have to set the expectation of what proper works looks like. Um, but if you do want, and I'd be happy to do this for anybody, then just say what it is, right? Say what it is that you want to achieve, and that could be a new standard. If let's say you're able to single-handedly improve the performance of your squad by 50%, then I will agree to some sort of bonus or some sort of promotion or some sort of arrangement to reward that. And I want that. I want that because now you've committed to help me increase the level of the business. And I should absolutely, without fail, commit to rewarding you for that, right? Because that makes sense. There's no business owner that would say no. As soon as you would say, you don't need to negotiate if you know logic, right? If I'm going to bring you more money, then it's going to cost you a bit of that big money to get there. Would you want it or not? The answer is always yes. If you bring me $1,000, I'll give you $100. That's fair, right? If you bring, let's say, $10,000, I give you 1,000. That's fair. Otherwise, I wouldn't have that $10,000. So, on that basis, you can always negotiate. On that basis, it's a core truth. There's no denying that. No reasonable person would have said no to that. Um, so you don't need anything beyond that. Then the issue is just to create the correct fitting for that circumstance to happen. Now, maybe I don't value money. Maybe I value customer service, right? Maybe I don't value money. Maybe I value growth. Maybe I don't. Maybe I value team. Maybe I value like having the right headcount. But you got to explore. You got to like kind of like if you want to negotiate, you have to figure out what the biggest problem that the client is facing, and then explore from there. You can do this with guests too. Let's say the guest has a complaint, they're not happy, then let them tell you what they're not happy about. Let them tell you what they think would be a good solution, right? So that whatever fix you offer will be something that they can just say yes to because you've already asked. And if they tell you, I think, oh, here's a great good example. A great example. You can apply this tomorrow, right? So let's
Yeah.
say, for example, a guest is unhappy because they're overbooked. And so they go on the phone and they start screaming at you. They start going all upset, and they're just talking and talking. So just be quiet and let them talk, right? What is it that you're upset about? This is perfect because they're telling you their problems. And now
Oh,
you have to negotiate with them, right? Now you have
yeah,
something to
yeah,
negotiate with them. So
yeah.
that's this place is so dirty, it's filthy. Okay, besides the filth, is there anything else that you're unhappy with? It's so far away from everywhere, and it's totally not clean. All right, what else are you? I totally understand. Tell me more what's not going well, and this and this. Great, stop. Is there anything that is going well? I mean, it can't be all that bad, right? Are you happy you're on vacation? No, because this. Okay, all right, let them talk again. Eventually try to get to some points that they are happy about. Okay, so
Mm,
now Now what you're doing is you're using them to balance themselves out, right? So you're using their own energy to cancel out the bad stuff. So you say, okay, all right, was breakfast bad? I mean, you didn't eat breakfast at our place. You just checked in. That could have been terrible, right? Maybe it was. Maybe they've had a bad breakfast already. And then you can go, well, that wasn't our fault, right? You can't blame me for that. And you can use
Yeah.
humor. So what you actually every time there's a customer service issue, it is a great opportunity to negotiate. Excellent opportunity to negotiate. Get all those things that they hate out of the way, and then start building the things that they like. And each thing that they like will slightly cancel out something that is gone bad, right? Using their own mind to sort of cancel out what they don't like. Now, when you get to the end, of course, there's going to be a deficit. That's why they're calling you. They feel like overall things aren't good, and we all know that. So then ask, hey, look, I'm over in Bali right now, and I'm going to do my best in here to try to give you a solution you'll be happy with.
Interrupted.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Sir, you're freezing. Uh,
Am I back?
no, you are still delaying.
I'll reboot in.
Okay. Uh, okay.
Okay. How about now? No, better.
Yes. Yeah. Better. Yeah, better.
Okay. So after you get the person to tell you all the things that they hate about the day, get them to talk about the things they love on the day, and then the last step is here. Talk about, hey, look, I'm over in Jakarta, which is actually a little bit far away from this theater if you don't know. But I'm going to do your best to help you get to an arrangement where you can continue the rest of your holiday happy. Does that sound like a good plan? Show them the vision, show them the light at the end of the tunnel so that they can start focusing on the solution rather than focusing on the problem. Okay, so then ask them, hey, look, I just want to know what would make you happier today. What can I provide you that would make you happier today? And so you can get us a better place for sure, and you can say, all right, so I'll try my best, but from what I understand, you weren't happy with the cleanliness, you weren't happy with this. So if I could find you a better place that had cleanliness, that had that, then that would make your day better, wouldn't it? And they would go, yeah, that would make my day perfect, actually. Great. Let me work on a solution right now. I can't promise you anything, but let's see what we can do. What would be the next best thing that would, and let's say, for example, you're listening and you realize you can't do it, right? They're asking for something
Mhm.
that's impossible. Then you ask them, all right, that's a little bit of a tall order. That's difficult. What's the next best thing I can do for you, right? So you're asking them to go down on their expectations by getting and understanding what the next expectation is. And if it's still too difficult, you go, ooh, that's still really tough, and I still really want to help you, but what's the next best thing I can do for you that's a little bit more realistic than that? And get them to lower their expectation down, right? Now, if they say something that, okay, now you know in the back of your head, you already know what the solutions are. You already know the alternative property, you can offer free transport, whatever it might be. Then when they finally say something that you can do, you go, okay, I'm going to try to work on everything that you told me. I'll try to get you the solution, best solution I can. But I'll try to make this brief so that you can go on with your holiday and spend as little time with this distress as possible. Is that a good idea? Yeah, of course it's a great idea. Great. Okay. So you promise them a fast solution, but not necessarily the best solution, right? And you've got them to continue downgrading their expectations in their own mind. And now you can negotiate, right? Now when you offer the solution, you can say, hey, look, I tried number one and two, but it didn't work. But your third thing, I totally got it covered. And in 15 minutes, you could be out and on your way to enjoy the rest of your holiday. Would you like me to execute this plan? And they're going to say yes. Uh,
Mm.
okay, so
Okay.
that's a really good way to actually. It's a way of leading. It's a way of actually being able to have good contact and a high amount of surface area across every guest or every person. So don't be afraid of problems. Problems are gold nuggets for a negotiator. They are absolute true gold if you can solve them, right? But if you can't, then remember, it's disappointment is expectations minus reality. If you can't bring the reality up, then you just have to get the expectation down. So, you know, like when I negotiated with you right there, right? let's say, for example, you're the boss and you say, hey, look, if you can bring up Nusa Penita's revenue by 100%, I would give you a raise. And then let's say I'm negotiating and say, hey, come on in, guys. Yeah, welcome in, welcome in. All right. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah. There's some flowers. If you guys want to make some bouquets in the back, make some like, yeah, these are Eckles spreads. Hi, guys. Welcome in, welcome in.
I got it. Hi.
Let's say this, right? Let's say I'm negotiating for a salary increase, and the target you set me is too high, right? So I can say, hey, boss, that's really impossible, that's really hard to do. But is there anything else of value that we can do that's maybe a little bit more achievable? And I can say, well, if you can bring up the revenue by 50%, that would be great. Oh, okay, all right. That still might be hard. I've looked at the data. We've never seen a 50% rise, across any time period. What would be the next most achievable target for you? Um, and then that gets me to consider, right? So it gets me to consider what gold looks like, silver, bronze place. And then you can then set, all right, I can do that, right? I can actually make that reality meet. And if I do I get at least a bronze medal for making this happen for you? And I should, right? Because, it's better than nothing. Um, Make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want more
Yeah.
control in a negotiation now.
Sorry, sir. Yeah, I think it will make me control negotiation. I'll take some point here. So
Great. I've persuaded you that you can be more persuasive.
yeah, yeah, you're right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. This is so interesting. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. That's pretty much it. So that concludes the hour.
Yes.
So we got some practice
Yep.
to try that out. And
Yep.
do you have any comments on this class so far?
Well, my comment is so, like, I'm happy to join this class because yeah, I think there's some skills that I need to improve. So yeah, thank you for sharing this skill negotiation with me. And then yeah, cool. This is pretty interesting.
I promise you this, Shintya. If you use this method, there should be actually no way that you would ever fail a promotion review. Actually, right? Um,
Oh yeah, yeah,
if you use this method and you define clearly, hey, you can just simply come to, let's say, all your jury and say, hey, look, guys, what is it that you would want to see in the way that I do things before my next promotion review that would get you to say yes, right?
yeah,
And we can discuss
yes,
that instead of waiting
yeah,
until like the day of and then hoping what you've done will actually clear. This is not like school. School, you follow the program, you do whatever in the program, and then you get the score that you get. Here is much more different. Here, it's because everything's dynamic. Things change from month to month. The goals change. The theme changes. You know,
yeah.
so we don't have that kind of fixed rule set that schools do. So everything can actually be negotiated, and I think
Okay, delay
this,
interrupt.
you'll see
Okay,
much more progression in not just here, but I think
okay, yes, sir.
anywhere.
It's kind of like yeah.
Okay, exciting, right?
Yes.
So you
Well,
have to
actually,
like
that yeah, actually, that's come on my mind also about the promotion things because you said that about the increasing the salary. I think that's pretty much the same because like, but on the promotion is more like our stage in this company, right? But the things that I learned like negotiation or persuasive, like you kind of like over a solution over the problem. But the thing that I want to ask is how about promotion? I think that's the same, like increasing the salary, but I bring the things that I've done. So
sure. Let's just say this, right? So the promotion reviews are already, let's say, within a standard framework, and we want that framework to help everybody out. The best
mm,
part for, let's say, the next step is clear, but you can always negotiate, right? You can always say, hey, look, I've thought about some things and I want to know, like you can negotiate for a role, right? You can see, you know what, there didn't seem to be a role that is actually addressing this particular problem. um, how much would you pay somebody to do this particular role, Jim? Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll get this much, right? Um,
mm,
right, because this role would actually help improve the performance of the squad, right? So, yeah, sure, clearly. So you can always do that to actually create a new role for yourself. outside the existing structure. If you're looking to get promoted within the existing structure, then the negotiation isn't so much about, let's say, the salary range. Those are kind of fixed tiers already. You can always negotiate for that if you bring in more value, of course. If you bring in more value,
yeah,
we always will pay more. But it's more like, does what I do now actually fulfill what you expect for this
mhm,
particular qualification, right?
yeah,
Is this project I'm doing actually something you would consider LC? Is this thing that I'm doing, example of LE, is this a project competency test? And you should ask beforehand, right? If I was
okay,
able to do this, would you consider this project competency? If I was able to do that, would you consider this leadership excellence? If I was able to do that, would you consider this credit for this? And I would go, great, I'm happy to have this discussion. It's much better we have this discussion now before you go on your project and do something later on. Come back and say, no, this isn't qualified, and get that out of the way. So that then is your negotiation. You can say, all right, so you've told me, Jane, we've covered this very clearly, that if I can do this project or achieve this kind of result by this kind of time with these people, then that would be quality for a promotion review, right? A
mhm,
cost of promotion review for this particular metric. I would go, yes, that would be exactly what we're talking about. And you would go, great. So remember what you just said before about your first time you led a team that created a certain result. I don't know now, did the team do the work? Did you do the work? Yeah, you said you had the concept and they executed, but maybe
mhm,
that happened and you were just a witness, right?
mhm,
Who else would actually support that you came up with the concept? Who else would actually say that you actually led the team? But
mhm,
if this thing didn't exist before at all, and you said, this is the concept that I have, and this is where I want to go with this, these are the people I'm going to bring in, and it clearly does not exist today at all, and I built it, then there is no discussion about whether or not you deserve
mhm,
credit, right? Because clearly you do. You said, on the day you suggested it, it wasn't existing. The day you had your promotion review, it was already working. So
yeah,
negotiate clearly. Be very specific. If I do this and this and this and this, is there anything else that would be missing from that would stop me from getting, a fair review? And we would say, hey, maybe about this or maybe about that, and you should consider that. And then, great. So if I work on this, this, and this, and this, then I should have no problems with getting a promotion, right?
yeah,
So okay, yeah, yeah, sure, yeah, I think not. And then it's clear. It's clear on your side, clear on their side, and the negotiation works so well. Um, I wish everybody would do this. I really do, and that would make reviews so much easier. That would make everything so much easier. Um,
yeah.
Nobody does this.
Then I will do that.
It's like you're gambling. It's like everybody's always gambling. They're hoping, hey, maybe this will actually be something that they improve. Hey, maybe this is going to be something that they improve. I'll give you the hint. If let's say anybody could say, I will bring the SLAs for any important metric up by this percentage by the time I go into a promotion review, would you think that is a fair um, metric for that? I would say yes. If you're able to change the SLAs and demonstrate that you can raise the SLAs and maintain at a new level, I think that you've created projects, you've created processes that probably promote that practice. You deserve you have control, right? You can
Yeah,
actually, you deserve. And where would we be without that control? We would be back with the shit SLAs that we had before. And so, of course, naturally,
yeah.
that person would be promoted. No question, no hesitation. Okay, so good.
Good.
All right, fantastic.
So,
Here's the thing.
yes.
Try watch the rest of the series, especially for Chris Voss, about practicing hearing, practicing the downward DJ voice. That's also pretty helpful.
Yeah, yeah. The
You have
voice, yeah.
a relaxed voice. It tends to it tends to actually help the negotiation process to have a
Yes,
downward
that's right.
inflecting voice. Kind of give people opportunity to feel more calm.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Agree with this. But yeah.
Uh, Try to apply this to your real life too. I think that would be
Yep.
helpful, and
Absolutely.
carry this throughout your career.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
all right.
Yep. Thank you for today, sir. Have a great day.
Bye, Shintya.
Bye.